coming later. Okay, so now let's get to the substance of the letter. So what is the story about? What is the whole brouhaha story about? So in his letter, in the letter of the OSP, he says that the original letter, he says that he's investigating some revenue assurance, something like that. Okay. In my interviews, I wondered why a board chairman is connected with something that has to do with procurement and all that, because under the Procurement Act, board chairman is not a part of it. The Procurement Act doesn't mention a board chairman anywhere. But anyway, this is Kisi Ajabe and the OSP, so no problem. All right. So he says he's investigating something related to revenue assurance audit service of a contract between some company, Evatex. At the board at the Ghana Airport Company, sometime around 2022, the Ghana Airport Company needed money. I mean, there was not enough money in the system, so they needed money. So the board invited the minister to sort of discuss the fees and charges, whether the minister could go through parliament and increase the fees and charges so that the Ghana Airport Company can make some revenue. The minister said no, he can't, because of the post-COVID Ukraine war. It's difficult to go and tell Ghanaians to pay more. So the board should find ways of raising more money, especially non-aeronautical. These are documented in terms of the policy to raise money through non-aeronautical. It's documented. What is non-aeronautical? If you buy a ticket, I buy a ticket, the airport company gets some money. That's aeronautical. Non-aeronautical is whether they deal in some land or they give somebody space to sell meat pie, or somebody is doing something, or other things that we can do, especially at the cargo area. See how we can get more revenue. All that is documented. So so we were looking for people who can help us in different ways to raise non-aeronautical revenue for the airport, because we're not going to get the fees and charges, because the government policy is that you can't do fees and charges at this time post Russia-Ukraine war. So somebody contacted the board and said that, look, you guys are losing money at cargo, and I can do it. My company can do it. So we said, okay, come to the board and come and do a presentation, which is very normal, very, very normal. So they came to the board to do a presentation and said that this is what we know and this is how it works. The board told them that, yes, you have told us what it is, but there's no real evidence. You haven't given us any evidence that, in fact, we are losing money. And then they said that to do that, we have to work with your management to come and tell you, because we need access to your systems. When we get access to your systems, then we'll be able to tell you in the things that are the revenue that's happened already. So today is July. They will take last year's revenue and show you that this revenue that you got 1 million cedis, you could have gotten 3 million cedis. This revenue that you have 2 million cedis could have gotten 6 million cedis. So the management gave them that, and then they did that. And then the management brought them to the board the second time and said that people have finished their work, so let the board hear them. So the board heard them. And then they seem to know what they are talking about. They seem to show that, yes, revenue was lost and revenue can be gained. So the board told management that, okay, go ahead, which is also normal. The board tells the management, MD and your people, go ahead and work with them and report back to us. So they did, and they went to work with them. And then we continue our meetings. I had forgotten about it. I don't know anything about it. Then the management comes back that they finished with the people. They brought a proposal. It's a workable proposal, but it looks like the proposal, the people are saying that, well, I left something out. When the people said they wanted to do the audit, the original audit, we told them, and I in particular said it at the board meeting, that we can't pay any money. The Ghana Airport Company cannot pay you any money at all to do this work. You have to find your own money to do the audit and come and convince us that we need the service. So they said, okay, they'll do that. They'll pay their own money. This is also in letters that they wrote, that there will be no financial commitment from the airport company. Till today, there's no financial commitment from the airport company, absolutely none. So they went to do the audit and came back, as I said, and then we were satisfied that they can do something. So management should continue to work with them. Management came back and said they brought a proposal and they are looking at it. However, what they are asking for in the proposal is that if they are commissioned to do the work, whatever money they gain for the Ghana Airport Company, on top of what we were getting already, they want 20%. So for instance, if they find that in the importation part of frozen food or something like that, airport was getting 1 million, but with their work, we now have 2 million, then there's 1 million that they have added to what the airport was getting, and they want 20% of that 1 million. So this was put before the board by the management, who dealt with them, the MD, who dealt with them on the documents. And then the board said, no, you can't have 20%. MD dropped them to 16%. So it was agreed. And then MD was told that, okay, go ahead and do the things you have to do. Those are due diligence, public procurement, and then get the document done. This was around November. So this is the last thing I heard about that process. Then December came, and then election came. And then soon after election, we were out. By January, we had resigned. All of us had resigned. I didn't know they had signed the contract. Some 10 days ago, Manasseh Azuri called me that he's investigating this matter, and that is so. When the OSP came, then all the lawyers were wondering why are they working together. Manasseh Azuri is one of the people you've been talking about. Kisia Jabe is one of the people you've been talking about. They seem to be working together for this, but I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Manasseh Azuri called me and said that what's the Evatex contract? I said, what is that? He said, Evatex, the people doing quality assurance. I said, the people who do the thing SML does. He said, yes. Then I said, I don't know about it. I don't know where it's gone to. Then it was Manasseh Azuri who told me that the contract had been signed by the managing director on 4th of December, 4 days or 3 days to election. And I said, well, okay, I don't know. I didn't know. This conversation is about 2 weeks ago. I didn't know whether the contract has been signed. I didn't find out whether the contract has been signed because it's not necessary. The board has finished its work. Whatever management does, if the management need the board again, they'll come back to the board. If there's a new board, management will come back to the new board and say, the old board did this is the problem we have, so resolve it. When the management is doing contracts, they are doing their PPA contracts under the law, they don't come to the board. They only come to the board when the threshold is beyond. So there are many contracts that the management does that the board doesn't know, they are not aware of. We don't have to be aware of it because the management is doing their work. But when they cross a threshold where the MD doesn't have capacity to approve this, then it comes to the board. So the board is merely there for approvals and also to initiate things that concern policy. So this is I didn't know that the contract had been signed. It was Manasseh Azuri who told me that the contract has been signed. Okay, interest in any of the companies who came there. I don't know who they are. I don't know who is their friend, where they came from. But anyway, the OSP insists that we have to come there today at 3 o'clock. Every lawyer is telling me, look, they want you to come at 3 o'clock and then they will detain you. They may arrest you. They will say, go and bring this. They will say bail. And one lawyer told me that how much is the money involved in that? I said, there's no money involved. There's absolutely no money involved in it. There's no money at all involved. Airport has not paid a single money to anyone. Airport has not lost a single money. And the contract has been signed by the managing director. I asked Manasseh Azuri that when you saw the contract, did you see my signature? Did I witness? He said, no. I said, but if the managing director has signed the contract, the managing director has signed so many contracts with so many people that the board will not know about because it is within her threshold and that of management to do. So that's why I told CTFM and Joy, this is a pure witch hunt from Kisia Jabe. But anyway, all I wanted viewers to know is that this is the story. And also Facebook people. So people want to know what happened. Kisia Jabe says we cannot postpone it. We have to come to his office today. So we are going to his office today to see it, to listen to him and ask him these questions, and he will also ask us questions. Media people who want to cover it, you can come. I don't know whether it's allowed, public hearing is allowed. People have called me, can we come and cover it? What is going to happen? I don't know how they do the OSP work, but I'm going there with my lawyer and then we'll be there to answer the questions. I'll let you know what happens. Everybody's telling me though that Kisi wants to arrest you and keep you there for the weekend to teach you a lesson because you've been talking about him. You have gone to write RTI about him. You said that he has bulletproof cars and all of those things has hurt him. So he wants to come after you. Well, that's up to him. If that's what he uses the state authority for, it's entirely up to him. That's not my problem. I don't mind. I will continue to do my work, and to say anything wrong about whether it is Kisia Jabe, whether it is X, Y, Z, W, V, we will have to say it, so long as we can provide the evidence for it. If it is his decision that because we have been talking about him, where there's no concern about board chairman, he will call people and ask them that, say that board chairman did this, say that board chairman, we want you to say that board chairman, we want you to say that, all that gamut of information that all the lawyers are telling me about. I don't know, the lawyers are telling me about it, that this is what is happening, because some of those lawyers have gone there with their clients and they say, tell me that they are saying, what did board chairman do? What did they tell us about this? Is the questions that the OSP wants to know. It's entirely up to you, Kisia Jabe. It's entirely up to you. So 3 o'clock, we will be there, and hopefully we'll be back, and then we'll report to you what happened. This is what we wanted to do, just to tell you, so that people don't have a blank mind and they don't understand what is happening. They think something really wrong has happened. Absolutely nothing wrong has happened.